Sports.
We are Blackmore. We are Arizona.
Along the shores of Lake Michigan, just outside downtown Milwaukee. That's where you'll find us at Miller Park, where the D-backs look to get their bats back online and go after their first win on this road trip. Join us for the D-backs and the Brewers on Fox Sports Arizona. Good afternoon from Miller Park and welcome to the broadcast. Steve Berthiaume, Bob Brenly along the way. It's the D-backs and the Brewers, the second of this three-game series. And the D-backs injury news took another downturn today. Steven Souza Jr. right back on the DL. Bob, Socrates Brito is here from AAA Reno.
The Diamondbacks were hoping that Steven Souza would recover enough to possibly DH in that Oakland series that's upcoming at the end of this trip, but that's not the case. Socrates Brito has received the call from Reno. In 42 games, he was hitting .323 down there. 21 RBIs, 25 runs scored. He's stolen 7 bases, and most importantly, was hitting .432 with runners in scoring position.
Brito on the bench to start this one tonight against Yoeli Chacin for Milwaukee. It's Matt Cook on the mound for the Diamondbacks. Last week in Phoenix, the Brewers hit 4 home runs against him.
Yeah, Matt Cook had his worst start of the year against the Brewers in that game. Gave up 9 hits and 8 runs, including 4 home runs. And the next day, Yoeli Chacin pitched the best game of the year.
It's got to turn around sooner or later. This could be the night. There's been, in fact, a guarantee that it will be. More on that coming up. It's the D-backs and the Brewers on Fox Sports Arizona.
D-backs baseball on Fox Sports Arizona is brought to you by CenturyLink, connecting you to the power of the digital world. By Gila River Hotels and Casinos. The card by Gila River Casinos earns you rewards 10 times faster than ever before. Sign up for the card today. By Carl's Jr. The Memphis Barbecue Thick Burger is back at Carl's Jr. for a limited time. Go on and pick it up. And by your Valley Honda dealer, where you'll get more standard features for less money. On Fox Sports Arizona is brought to you by Chaz Roberts, Air Conditioning and Plumbing. Choose Chaz. By BJ's Restaurant and Brew House. Visit bjsrestaurants.com to find a location near you. By Santan Ford. We are Santan Ford. By Arizona Tire Pros. Everything rotates around you. And by Jack in the Box. This season, D-backs home runs score free Jumbo Jacks. Only at Jack in the Box.
Well, first there was Broadway Joe before Super Bowl III, and tonight Archie Bradley has guaranteed a win. Is this the night?
It all starts next on Fox Sports Arizona.
Welcome in Steve Berthune, Bob Brenly, and Jody Jackson with you. It's the D-backs and the Brewers, the second of this three-game set. Diamondbacks have lost 5 games in a row, 11 of their last 12, and they've dropped a half game behind Colorado. The NL West lead for the first time all year, so they are looking up at the Rockies, Bob, for the first time this season.
Well, some hits, some runs, some wins cures everything. Diamondbacks just can't seem to get untracked offensively. Hopefully tonight will be the night.
Well, is this the lineup that can get it done? It's presented by your Valley Chevy dealers.
David Peralta once again leading off out in left field. Chris Owings will be in right field tonight. Jake Lamb at third base. Paul Goldschmidt over at first. Daniel Descalso getting a start at second base with Ketel Marte sliding over to shortstop tonight. Alex Avila behind the plate. Gerard Dyson out in center field once again. And right-hander Matt Cook on the mound for the Diamondbacks.
Well, following last night's 4-2 loss in the series opener, the D-backs are up against a Milwaukee ball club that's 29-19 and leading the National League Central Division, playing their second game of a 10-game homestand, and they're back at Miller Park after going 7-3 on a 10-game road trip. So they've been playing very well as of late.
Yeah, they really have, and they're missing a lot of key pieces too. 3/5 of their starting rotation. Their starting first baseman, Stephen Vogt, who figured to be their starting catcher this year. Craig Counsell's done a nice job of mixing and matching with the guys he has available.
You can see Alex Avila there in the dugout. There's no beard. We thought maybe that would turn the tide. Alex shaved yesterday. Everybody trying to do something a little different, as you always point out. Go a different way to the ballpark.
Yeah.
Do something.
Yeah, put on different underwear. Change your undershirt. Wear your hat backwards. Shave. Don't shave. Do something different just to try to break the mojo. Of course, ball players are always very superstitious. You don't want to go against the mojo, but when you're in a slump like this, you got to change things up.
It's been a rough month. D-backs only 5-14 in May, but still with a chance here to take 2 of 3 in this series before it's on to Oakland starting on Friday. Your Ram Truck starting pitcher for the Brewers is the right-hander Yoelish Chassin, 3-1 with a 3.63 ERA. Chassin has allowed more than 2 runs only once in his last 7 starts. He's pitching very well.
Yeah, he relies mostly on a sinker-slider combination, tries to keep the ball down in the zone. He'll mix in an occasional curve, an occasional changeup, and he will try to turn his fastball over and get some sinking action from time to time.
A look around the diamond at the Brewers defense is brought to you by E.D. Marshall Jewelers.
Same outfield we saw last night. Christian Yelich will be in left, Lorenzo Cain in center, Domingo Santana over in right field. Travis Shaw with a big night offensively last night will be at third base. Orlando Arcia at short, Jonathan Villar at second base. Ji-Man Choi playing first base tonight with Manny Pena doing the catching for Yoelish Chassin.
Angel Hernandez is the plate umpire tonight, calling the balls and strikes. The crew chief Larry Vanover's at first base. Hunter Wendelstadt is our second base umpire tonight, and Chris Guccione's at third. Got more sunlight peering through the panels here on a very pleasant low 60s sort of early spring day feel to it in late May here in Milwaukee. So early in the ball game, the outfielders will have some sunshine to deal with. Here's David Peralta, and we are set to go from Miller Park in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. David at 264 and 7 home runs.
Yeah, we talked about that sunlight coming through the panels, especially on the first base side of the field. And with the day game tomorrow, you're getting just a little taste of what the players are going to deal with tomorrow.
Yeah, we got an early start tomorrow, right after noon. We're underway in Milwaukee with ball 1. David singled and scored a run to lead off last night's ball game. It was 1 for 4. Chassin gets the inside strike call from Angel Hernandez, and it's 1-1. D-backs just saw Chassin last week at Chase Field. He was outstanding. 7 innings, gave up only 1 run on 2 hits, and struck out 7. As Craig Counsell put it, he pitched beautifully in that ball game.
It's about as good as we've ever seen Chassin, at least against the Diamondbacks. He was on top of his game.
Completed 7 innings for the first time all year. Now with a 2-2 count, the Brewers shade more over toward the first base side of the infield. And David hits it right into that shift. That's Travis Shaw, the third baseman, on a 5-3 putout, 1 away. Well, Socrates Brito is here from Reno. He's on the bench to start this one. Steven Souza Jr. back on the DL. Chris Owings back in right field tonight. 198, he's homered twice. Fastball catches the corner, 0-1. Yoelish Chassin has essentially been a 3-pitch guy all year. Slider about 40% of the time, and after that mixes in his fastball and sinker. But last week we saw him dust off his changeup quite a bit. He threw 15 changeups, way more than he usually throws, if any at all. And it seemed to be a very effective complement to that fastball slider combo.
Yeah, see if he uses it that much again here tonight. Sometimes a pitcher just has a real good feel for a particular pitch on a given day, and he'll throw it a lot more. Other times the opposing lineup will tell you what pitches to throw.
Yeah, he went very much off the menu in that last start. All those changeups was not something anybody had anticipated. A pitch that he's worked a lot on all through spring training and through the early part of the year, but finally felt comfortable with it last week. A little hesitation in that delivery. CO chases a high fastball.
Little hitch in the giddy up there on that windup, kind of paused right there at the top, and then delivers a 91-mile-an-hour fastball up and in for strike 3 to Chris Owings.
Jake Lamb, 250 now with 1 home run.
He homered and walked twice last night. Brewers don't put much of an overshift on against Jake Lamb. Marcy, the shortstop, still behind the bag at second.
Now Travis Shaw will move well off the line at third base, but yeah, 2 infielders on each side. Novel concept.
It does still happen occasionally. 0-2. Boy, Chacin's been hitting those corners so far, and now with 2 strikes, Shaw will go over on the first base side of second. That's exactly where Peralta hit his ground ball to start the game. That one misses low. A ball and 2 strikes.
This is one thing for me that you would think when a hitter's in a 2-strike count, he's going to be more defensive and possibly be late on a pitch, so he might hit it to the opposite field. But the spray charts and the past history would say the Brewers think he's going to pull the ball.
Yeah, the left side of the infield is wide open. Late time there called by Angel Hernandez. Still got that odd haze inside the ballpark. I think today it's more sunlight than smoke.
I think you're right.
We did not get I don't believe we got any pregame fireworks.
I didn't hear him today, and if we did, there would be a lot of smoke hanging in the air, but just sunshine glare.
I think they might do that before the Brewers bat, so we may have them after this half inning, but you can see the glare coming through the windows there.
That's where Glenn Close sits up there.
She stands up and suddenly well, no sooner do the D-backs get Jake Lamb back in the lineup after he missed 39 games. They lose Steven Souza Jr. again with an aggravation of that right pectoral strain. Quick pitch there. Seen trying to get tricky. There's Steven Souza Jr., who is very frustrated, but he will stay with the team on this road trip. He wants to be the team cheerleader.
We talked about it a little bit in the open. The Diamondbacks were holding out hope that possibly Souza would be good enough to DH at least a couple of those games in Oakland when we play in interleague play, but this wasn't to be.
Jake Lamb hits a ball deep right center field, and that ball is off the wall. Kane is down on the warning track, and Lamb has a 2-out double. Lorenzo Cain hit that wall awfully hard out there.
Generally, a ball off the left-hander's bat is going to slice back toward the center fielder, but it looked like that one just kept hooking away from him farther and farther. Nice effort by Lorenzo Cain, but could not get to the spot quickly enough.
The D-backs had bases loaded, 1 out in the first inning last night and could only manage 1 run. You've got Lamb at second, 2 down for Goldie. That was a good at bat by Jake Lamb. He went down from down 0-2 to a full count. 8-pitch at bat. Now a chance for Goldie, a 2-0-1 and 5 homers.
Front door slider, starts it right at the hitter, breaks it over that inside corner.
Goldie 7 for 70 in May. He has 2 RBIs this month. That fastball missed low. It's 1-1. Looked like Chacin wanted that pitch. It was a borderline pitch. Boy, Bob, there's another case of what you were talking about last night. Teams pitching Goldie inside with fastballs.
We talk all the time about the advanced scouts sitting behind home plate, charting every pitch that Goldie sees, the velocity, the location, and until you prove that you can either get to that pitch or lay off of it, he's going to see a steady diet of them.
That was another one right there, well inside. 2-2. Goldie this year 3 for 31 with runners in scoring position. Daniel Descalso at second base tonight is on deck. Back-to-back 3-2 counts for Jhoulys Chacin, who's already well over 20 pitches in the first inning. Trying to get Lamb home from second with 2 outs. Here's the 3-2. Lorenzo Cain in center field is way over in right center. And Christian Yelich is 1.5 miles away from the left field line. The outfield is shifted way over toward right. Ball 4. Two on and 2 out for Descalso. Daniel Descalso, 258. He's got 5 homers. And the Brewers will move more defenders over to the first base side of the infield. Arcia right behind second base umpire Hunter Wendelstedt, and Shaw the only defender on the left side.
And Shaw has to stay a little bit closer to third base with a runner at second. Big Lamb doesn't figure to be running, but you can't just evacuate the bag and let him take 90 feet. So Travis Shaw a little closer to third base than he would normally play for a left-handed pull hitter.
Daniel was off last night. He was actually in the on-deck circle when the final out was made. Getting ready to pinch hit. He's down 0-2. Already 27 pitches for Jhoulys Chacin. The guy that generally does not pitch all that deep into ball games. Two and 2. Descalso 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts against the Mets on Sunday, but despite that, he's still hitting .310 in his last 25 games. He's been one of their more productive bats. Ketel Marte in the on-deck circle. 2 and 2. 2 outs, 2 on. Third base for Shaw. D-back strand 2. We're at Miller Park in Milwaukee. Matt Cook coming up.
Starting pitcher for the D-backs, it's Matt Cook. Milwaukee not too far from his Iowa hometown. Matt has a number of family and friends here tonight, hoping to bounce back after surrendering 4 home runs to these Brewers last week in Phoenix.
Yeah, sometimes pitching in front of family and friends can make you tighten up and not be able to execute your pitches. Other times it brings out the best. Hopefully that'll be the case for Matt Cook tonight. Love to see him pitch well in front of his family.
So here's Yelich in the leadoff spot for Craig Counsell tonight. Just got done with the pre-bottom first fireworks show inside the ballpark, so the smoke is hovering over everyone's heads. 289 and 5 homers for Yelich. A single last night. He was 1 for 4. Matt's start last week against Milwaukee, the first time all season he'd been less than extremely effective. First time all year he'd given up more than 3 runs in a start. As Torrey said, it was just a case of nothing really working for Matt last week against the Brewers. Got hit pretty hard. Alex Avila back there tonight, 2-2 on Yelich. Called strike 3. Angel Hernandez rings him up. Good start for Matt Cook. Here's the Brewers lineup. It's presented by your Valley Chevy dealer.
Yelich, the left fielder, goes down on strikes to start it for the Brewers. G-Man Choi at first base making his way to the plate. Lorenzo Cain out in center field. Travis Shaw again at third base. Domingo Santana out in right field with Jonathan VR at second. Manny Pena doing the catching. Orlando Arcia at short and Yolis Chacin on the mound.
G-Man Choi. D-backs overload the right-hand side. Choi 3 for 10 with a homer in 4 games for the Brewers. Signed a minor league deal with Milwaukee in January. Just got called up from AAA Colorado Springs last week. Milwaukee had to put Ryan Braun on the DL with a back problem. There's the defense against G-Man. One and 2.
No Jesus Aguilar tonight. Of course, Eric Thames still on the disabled list. He's scheduled to start baseball activities in the very near future. And in the meantime, G-Man Choi gets a start down at first base tonight.
He's got some pop in that bat. He made their opening day roster, but then was sent down after only 1 game. They needed to make room for more bullpen help.
Until Thames comes back healthy, Choi figures to get some playing time at first base. Craig Counsell was telling me that Aguilar, a big guy, approaching 300 pounds, and he said you just can't run him out there every day. It'll take a toll. So he's trying to choose his spots to get Choi in there at first base and give Aguilar a little bit of a rest.
Kane on deck. 2-2 to G-Man Choi. Good start for Matt Cook. 2 strikeouts. E.D. Marshall Jewelers, a look around the diamond at the D-backs defense.
Outfield will be Peralta in left, Dyson in center, Chris Owings over in right field. The infield from third to first, Jake Lamb, Ketel Marte, Daniel Descalso, and Paul Goldschmidt with Alex Avila. Not Alex Avila's beard, just Alex Avila doing the catching today for right-hander Matt Cook. Of course, if we play a long game tonight, he may have a full beard.
That's true. Lorenzo Cain. 2 hits last night, including a home run. First pitch swinging. Ketel Marte at shortstop. Nice 1-2-3 inning for Matt Cook. No score from Milwaukee.
put together offense. Jake Lamb had the double there in the first, but could not string anything together. Talking to Torey Lovello about this, you know, he said, look, we do have a lot of information, and that's a good thing, but maybe it's making guys over-anxious. He's used that word of over-anxious to talk about the fact that, you know, guys know when pitches are coming and in certain spots, and that's a good thing, but maybe they're not going out and executing it. And then for Matt Koch, I asked him about this rematch with the Brewers. He said they didn't get to see the real me. Well, guys, the first inning was a good start.
Sure was, Jody. 2 strikeouts in a 1-2-3 first as Ketel Marte leads off the second against Yoeli Chacin. Ketel 223 and a homer. He singled and drew a bases loaded walk last night. Last night, the Diamondbacks made Chase Anderson throw 28 pitches in the first inning. Tonight, Yoeli Chacin had a 30-pitch first. And that one will drop over the head of Arcia in a left center field. A broken bat single for Ketel Marte. He wants a double, and he is out of there. Well, Torey has mentioned guys maybe being over anxious or trying to do too much, feeling the pressure of this losing skid. And Marte is thrown out trying to stretch that into a double.
Yeah, a little floater out into shallow left field. I mean, you love the aggressiveness, but probably not the time to be overly aggressive. Good throw back into the infield from Lorenzo Cain, and Hunter Wendell sat the second base umpire right on top of that play. Trying to do too much.
Jerry Narron on the phone with Alan Campbell. We play on. You might not recognize Alex Avila. 132. He's homered twice. Brewers have 3 infielders on the first base side. 2-0 on the D-backs catcher. There's a fly ball to left center field. Boy, Yelich really might have a tough time looking up into that sun and light bank behind first base.
He would have really had a hard time had that ball been hit to him in the first inning when the sun was just flooding through that the glass on the first base side of the field, but able to duck underneath that time and make the catch.
Yeah, that's what he's looking up into. We saw him fight that a bit in the ball game last night. Center fielder tonight, Jarrod Dyson. Dyson 0 for 4, a couple of strikeouts last night. Coming off his 3-hit game Sunday in New York. And what a catch he made up against the wall there, colliding with David Peralta in left center on that ball that Travis Shaw hit.
Boy, great focus, keep his eye on the ball, get his glove to the spot, even though he knew David Peralta was going to make contact just about the same time the ball got there.
The pitcher, Matt Koch, on deck. 3-1 on Dyson. Second walk of the ball game for Chacin. Matt Koch from Cherokee, Iowa. It's a tiny little town. Not a whole lot of people there. About 5,000 people in Cherokee. He said, we're close to Iowa, but the problem is Cherokee is on the far western side of the state. So even though it's relatively nearby, it's still a good 8-hour drive for everybody to come over here and watch the ball game tonight, but they're here. He said about 8-9 people and expected more to try and hitch a ride with the group that was on their way here to watch him pitch tonight. So it's kind of a neat thing for him here. Angel Hernandez didn't like that one. 1-1. I guess they're lucky that didn't hit Matt Cook.
That's a pretty good check swing right there by a pitcher. A lot of hitters would chase this pitch. Hard slider down and in. Looked like it was going to be an inside corner strike, and then almost gets him in the back foot. A lot of guys would go ahead and swing at that pitch. Nice take.
2 balls and 1 strike. This is trying to get down in center, but here comes Kane. Miller Park in Milwaukee. No score. The D-backs and the Brewers. Matt Cook back out there after a 1-2-3 first inning with 2 strikeouts, which gets us, Bob, to your Valley Honda dealers. Key to the game.
Well, the old saying, when you're in Rome, do as the Romans do. Well, when you're in Milwaukee, you got to cook some brats. Notice the spelling on Cook.
Very clever. Your staff worked feverishly on that one, I'm sure.
I found the farther away from the valley the sun we get, the more feeble they are.
Which suggests that they're not feeble at home.
Well, that's what I'm suggesting.
Well, Matt Cook, as we mentioned, against this Milwaukee lineup last time out, gave up 4 homers. Trying to figure out exactly what went wrong, and if you look at some of the numbers, he just wasn't locating like we've usually seen. Had trouble locating his fastball for strikes, which is very unusual for him because he's been a consistent strike thrower. And when he went to that cut fastball, it got hit. Brewers had 4 hits against the cutter, including 2 homers. So maybe more changeups from Matt Cook tonight.
Yeah, just better command of everything, I think, would solve a lot of the problems that Matt had last time out. And in that first inning, he was able to dot the edges of the zone with that fastball. That's always a key for him.
Well, here is the mayor of Ding Dong City, as he's known in Milwaukee, Travis Shaw. A 2-run home run off Zach Greinke in the first inning last night, and this against Matt Cook last week at Chase Field. And there's the ding dong.
There's the ding dong, yeah.
Last night, his 2nd homer against the D-backs this year. Batting cleanup for Craig Counsell. D-backs put 3 infielders on the first base side. Fly ball to Peralta in left field. David coming in. 4 up for down for Matt Cook. Here's another guy that homered last night off Zach Greinke. It's the right fielder, Domingo Santana. .255 and 3 homers. 2 of those 3 home runs have come against the D-backs this year.
Well, Travis Shaw's home run didn't surprise anybody last night, nor did Lorenzo Cain's, but I was a little surprised by Domingo Santana. It just appeared to be a routine fly ball to right field that just continued to carry until it barely cleared the wall.
Yeah, just kind of slicing toward the right field corner, way up in the air, just over the head of Chris Owings. This was Santana with 2 outs in the 4th last night.
He was looking to left field as he made contact with the ball, and he squirted it out there to right field, but got enough of it to sneak it over the fence.
Matt Cook gets the call there, and Matt jumps ahead 0-2. Well, Santana last night also struck out twice. And as he often does, he's been striking out a ton lately, 11 times in his last 7 games. He's down here 0-2. Yanked foul behind Ed Cedar, coaching at third.
That home run that Domingo Santana hit in the ball game last night came on a 3-0 pitch. Only the 5th time all season the Brewers had swung at a 3-0 pitch.
Little low and away. And Santana has come back from down 0-2 to work at full 3 balls and 2 strikes. Jonathan Villar on deck.
The other 3-0 Hackers guys you would expect to swing 3-0, Jesus Aguilar and Travis Shaw.
Pitch number 9 on the way for Matt Cook. The skipper Torey Lovullo looking for answers for a ball club that has somehow lost 5 in a row and 11 of 12. Everybody waiting for something to turn here. One more time on 3-2 to Domingo Santana. Fights this one off along the line. Owings on the run. He's behind the seats, and he got it in foul ground. Chris Owings disappears from view, but catches the fly ball out, 2 down.
Well, like a lot of the ballparks we play in, not a lot of room when you get down the right and left field lines, down in those corners. CO went into a slide to protect himself and keeps his eye on that ball, makes a nice play right there. See his foot up to protect himself against the wall. Fortunately, no damage done.
Well, that was a really nice catch.
Yeah.
Villar, the second baseman, singled and stole a base last night. He was 1 for 3.
You watch Chris Owings play right field, and occasionally you forget that he's a natural infielder. He really takes good lines to the ball. He's got great speed, so he can catch up with a lot of those high fly balls.
Matt Cook ahead 0-2 on Villar. Villar is hot lately, hitting about 370 in his last 8 games. Up and in, a ball and 2 strikes.
try to expand the strike zone on Jonathan VR, you really have to expand the strike zone. He doesn't like to walk. He'll chase pitches out of the zone, but you got to get him out there far enough so he can't make contact. Like that.
Chased a high fastball. 6 up, 6 down with 3 punch outs for Matt Cook. No score for Miller Park.
Grill's heating up, though. While we have a moment, let's take a look at this day in baseball history, brought to you by Geico. We go back to 1982 in his last major league at bat. Mario Mendoza reached on a fielder's choice, ending his 9-year career with a .215 batting average. Now, everybody's heard that the guy's hitting below the Mendoza line. I think a lot of people assumed that was 200. Mario Mendoza was a .215 hitter.
Let's not shortchange Mario Mendoza. So the Mendoza line is .215 or below. You want to be above, obviously.
Unfortunately, the Diamondbacks lineup today has 4 of the 8 position players hitting under the Mendoza line.
That does not include the leadoff man, David Peralta, who grounded out his first time up. Or Mario Mendoza. Who came up with that, and why pick on Mario Mendoza?
I don't know. I'm sure if you look back through baseball records, there are some guys that finished their career right at 200. Pick on them. I think it was more just the reputation that Mario Mendoza had in the game. Good defender, light hitter, you know. Well, .215 for a defender, that's not bad.
It's not good.
Not good. Trying to help you out, Mario. He later went on to become a hitting coach, a minor league hitting coach.
Wait a minute.
What?
Yeah, come on.
I'm telling you.
How can the guy who's basically invented the Mendoza line teach people how to hit?
He learned everything not to do.
Oh,
valuable lesson for young hitters.
Don't walk the leadoff man in any inning. And Yoli Chacin has walked 3 now. Peralta aboard to start the 3rd. Here's Chris Owens.
Get him on, get him over, get him in. Not suggesting a bunt right here. We know Torrey doesn't like to use the sacrifice bunt very often, especially early in the ball game. But take what the defense gives you. Chris Owens has a huge hole on that right side of the infield right now. We know Yoli Chacin likes to throw that slider low and away. Stay on one, drive it through that right side.
Instead, he hits it up the middle. Arcia has an easy double play ball.
I was talking to my staff earlier today, partner, and
yelling at them, I hope.
Well, just trying to inspire them. It's not easy.
We could all use some right now.
No, but when you get into a team-wide slump like the Diamondbacks are in right now, we got great advice from Roger Craig back in my playing days. Take yourself out of the equation. What do I need to do in this at-bat to help my team better have a chance to score a run? And right there, you know, one pitch, quick ground ball to shortstop, rally extinguished quickly. Maybe grinding it back think about that hole on the right side. Team needs me to move that runner. And you start doing those little things that help the team score runs, not necessarily helping your own batting average. And sometimes that allows you to relax and take a deep breath and see a bigger picture of the game than just your own struggles.
Jake Lamb doubled off the right center field wall his first time up. I'm guessing that worked.
Well, sometimes, but it does take some pressure off the individual. Every guy that stands up there at the plate, you look up at the big board, and in 15-foot tall numbers is your batting average. And you don't need to be reminded how badly you're struggling.
Especially if you're below the Mendoza line. Ball strike 3. Turned into a quick inning for Yoeli Chacin. No score in Milwaukee. No score. Fan Star Wars Day is June 2nd in Chase Field, and you can get the Paul Solo bobblehead before the D-backs game against the Marlins, a 7:10 start, courtesy of Cox Communications. Get your tickets, dbacks.com/Star Wars. Manny Pena, the catcher, leads off the Brewer third against Matt Cook, who has retired all 6 batters he's faced. He's got 3 strikeouts. Pena 216 and 4 home runs. He was 0 for 3 last night. Pops this one up near the mound. Who wants it? Jake Lamb calls off Goldie. 7 up, 7 down for Cook.
Nice job. You know, my staff is right on top of it, partner. I stand corrected. They've been really good on the road. Instead of the Mendoza line, it should be called the Uecker line. Bob Uecker finished his major league career with exactly a 200 batting average.
Now we're not going to get a ride back to the hotel tonight. Nice going.
Yeah, he's moonlighting as an Uber driver. Uecker very graciously gave us all a ride back to the hotel last night. We were standing outside in the misty rain, and he said, "Hey, jump in." Regaled us with stories for about 20 minutes on the ride back. What a beauty.
It was a lot of fun. Orlando Arcia, the shortstop. Drifting over to right center is Gerard Dyson. Quickly 2 down in the Brewer third. Yeah, we were standing out there in the rain like a bunch of dopes, and all of a sudden this big SUV pulls up. Window rolls down. It's Bob Uecker. You guys need a ride?
We got no chance tonight, partner.
Why?
He drove his vet.
Oh, yeah, we're out then.
Yeah, he parks his Corvette inside the ballpark here at Miller Park.
When Bob Uecker pulls up and asks you if you want a ride, you get in the car.
Absolutely.
And it was very entertaining. Here's the pitcher, Chacin.
I mean, the elevator ride with Uecker was entertaining.
We were on the elevator, and a whole bunch of other folks got on. A lot of the folks that work here at the ballpark, they are here every day. And one young lady said, "Hey, Uecker, you know, where you been? We haven't seen you around here in a while."
And he said, yeah, I've been gone. My guard unit got called up.
Dead serious, too.
It was all in the delivery. Just spot on. He had it ready like that. Boom. There it is. Of course, his number here, I should say, the 50-year number. Yep. Retired in the rafters here at Miller Park. Bob Uecker, the longtime voice of the Brewers.
Get up, get up, get out of here. Gone.
Fastball's low. There it is, the Uecker home run call.
Hopefully we won't hear it for the next couple days.
We heard it enough last night.
Yes, we did.
There it is, 50 years of Brewer baseball. Ketel Marte at shortstop. An 8-pitch third for Matt Cook. He's retired all 9 he's faced. No score in Milwaukee.
And maybe the 67 is a little more special from what you're telling me, but Ron Gardner, our bench coach last year, had a car that was very similar. So I actually got to ride in one, and it was pretty. Wow. It was pretty intimidating.
I'm picturing Gardy in that. I bet he looked pretty cool.
He has this alter ego, so he's a very conservative guy, and then all of a sudden he gets behind the wheel. He turned into this rad racer, and he was driving me around the parking lot. So it was entertaining. It's beautiful.
Well, that was the 67 Shelby Mustang that we took a look at, and then we drove in the 2018 Mustang. Torey Lovello into the park, driven in tonight after the game, guys, and a lot of fun stuff from Torey Lovello. I think you're really going to enjoy it. Hey, Bob, I know last year when I drove a few guys in, Godley and Chafin and Peralta, you were concerned about my driving and everything. Everything went smooth, you know, and I'll focus on the road, and it was a lot of fun, and I want to thank Josh Kellman for making the concept a reality, and Tom Elsner for all of his talents, editing. These guys do a tremendous job. It's not exactly the easiest show to create, but it's a pretty good one. We hope everyone will watch after the game.
That's going to be a real treat after the ball game tonight, Jody. Remember, 10-2, Jody, 10-2. Goldie leads off the fourth against Yoeli Chassis.
I noticed in one of our previews for the show, Jody looked a little bit like Beyonce. You know, the wind was blowing the hair back off her face while she was driving and asking questions of Torey. A lot of production value in that show.
Goldie looks at strike three. Third strikeout for Yoeli Chassis. Of course, the terrific folks at all our friends at Sanderson Ford helped make that show possible. We got cameras hooked up all over the car. Everybody's mic'd up. It's a very high production value. Here's Daniel Descalso in at second base tonight. Did you have a hot rodding around Coshocton as a youth?
I fooled a lot of people. I had a 64 Chevelle.
Wow.
But it had a 6-cylinder motor in it. It'd only go about 50 miles an hour, but it looked good. It looked fast. It just didn't go fast.
Kind of like some ball players. Well, it's not like you got the super speedway through Coshocton. It's a couple of stoplights, and that's it anyway.
And back then, you got hand-me-down cars. You know, when my dad was tired of driving one, it was time for him to upgrade. You know, he just handed down. We had one car that went through every member of my wife's family. Everybody in the family drove this car at one point, and a tremendous vehicle. Had over 250,000 miles on it when it finally croaked.
Well, who said those AMC Pacers were no good? It wasn't that?
No.
2-1 on Descalso. Well, Chacin has walked one batter in each of the first 3 innings. He's behind here, 3 balls and a strike with Ketel Marte on deck. None of the 3 walks has scored yet. Whoa. Angel Hernandez expands the zone just a bit. And Angel will do that from time to time, especially against left-hand hitters. You'll see a lot of wide strikes on left-hand batters. And Descalso ends up going down on strikes. That's 4 for Chacin. Here's Ketel Marte, who had a broken bat bloop into left center field his first time up, tried to stretch it into a double and was thrown out. Angel Hernandez, calling the balls and strikes tonight, is with this particular crew because David Rackley was hit by a foul ball late last week. There's a quick pitch from Chacin, and there's another wide strike to a left-hand batter by Angel Hernandez.
Yeah, that time a breaking ball that was never in the strike zone. Occasionally you can throw that sinking fastball, and it might catch a corner of the plate before it dives out of the zone, but not the breaking ball.
Angel expands that zone east and west for lefties, more north and south and inside for right-hand hitters. He is a big-time strike caller back there. Marte able to hold up, and it's 2-2. That is Alex Avila. Shaved the beard yesterday. He's on deck, hoping to get a chance. And Yoeli Chacin strikes out the side in the 4th. No score at Miller Park. Brewers. Now it's time for Lowe's whole team together. And the best records in the National League this month Milwaukee Brewers right there up top, along with the Washington Nationals. Brewers 12-6 so far in May.
A lot of teams on that list right there that you would not expect to be on that list. As a matter of fact, 19 of the 30 teams in Major League Baseball are within 3.5 games of first place. 16 of 30 are within 2 games of first place.
So that's half the teams, little more than half the teams in the major leagues are within 2 games of the division lead. High fly ball, deep left center. Peralta has room. That's 10 up, 10 down for Matt Cook. Yelich flies out to start the home half of the 4th. What does that tell you about, I guess, parity?
Parity or mediocrity? I'm not quite sure what it says. A lot of teams that got off to hot starts have cooled, like the Diamondbacks. Some of the teams that got off to slow starts, like the Phillies, have turned it around and started to win. It's going to be an interesting year this year. A lot of new blood in the game.
Ji-Man Choi struck out his first time up. The big left-hand hitting first baseman tonight for Milwaukee.
When I asked Craig Counsell about Choi before the ball game, he said he was our best hitter in spring training. I could not take him with us.
Yeah, he made their opening day roster. A little tapper first base side. Goldie's got it. Matt Cook hustles over there. 2 down in the 4th. Well, Matt Cook's opponent's batting average the first time through the lineup this year is now 171. It was 9 up, 9 down. He's retired the first 11 he's faced on 40 pitches. And with 2 down, here's Lorenzo Cain, who grounded out his first time up.
Boy, after that quick 8-pitch 3rd inning when he retired the bottom of the order, 1, 2, 3, he's only thrown 3 pitches to get 2 outs here.
Lorenzo Cain usually bats leadoff for Craig Counsell, who was in the leadoff spot last night. But with Ji-Man Choi at first base, Yelich is leading off. Cain hits 3rd. And that helps Counsell avoid stacking up all those lefties at the top of the order. He's got the left-hander Travis Shaw on deck behind Cain. So a little bit of a different look tonight for Milwaukee. Quite a contrast so far for Matt Cook compared to his start against these Brewers last week in Phoenix when he gave up 4 homers. Two balls and 1 strike on the Brewers center fielder. That one is belted hard and into left field. First hit from Milwaukee is Cain's 2-out single in the 4th. Bring up Travis Shaw. Shaw flied out his first time up. A home run last night. He's been hot lately. 4 homers and 9 RBIs in his last 11 games. And of course, Cain with good speed at first base. He's got 10 stolen bases this year. That one caught the corner down and away, 0-1. Boy, there's a fastball that Matt Cook threw right to the glove of Alex Avila. Here's the target, down and away.
We're featuring that particular section of Miller Park because that big can up on top there. Travis Shaw hit a home run up there against the Cardinals on a changeup. He has a little bit of a loop in his swing. It can occasionally get long. And if you throw off-speed pitches in the strike zone, that's a ball he can hit a long way.
Well, Matt Cook saw that last week when he hit that one off the foul pole at Chase Field. That's a pretty good poke out there.
Oh, yeah, it is. I mean, that's 2 sections above the bullpen in right center field.
Jake Lamb, the 3rd baseman, behind second base ump Hunter Wendelstedt. A ball and 2 strikes on Travis Shaw.
watching Shaw take batting practice today along with manager Greg Counsell, and he was trying to hit balls in the third deck up there. Guys reach the second deck here at Miller Park with regularity, especially during the ball game, but in batting practice it's tough to hit the ball that far when a guy's throwing 50 miles an hour. But you can see where that deck is up there high above the bullpen in right center field.
Keep working away to Travis Shaw. 2-2. Well, he is, after all, the mayor of Ding Dong City.
Yes, he is.
Got a reputation to live up to.
The incumbent mayor of Ding Dong City.
Good word. Santana on deck. Ooh, that one was a really good pitch by Matt Cook. He didn't get it from Angel Hernandez. Angel will expand the zone away from those lefties. Inside, not so much. And so it's full 3-2. Goldie will back up now. This will get Kane started from first. Lorenzo Cain is doing that thing we saw him do last week, where he takes that lead with his back to the hitter, looking Goldie right in the eye there as the ball is being delivered. It's remarkable. Look where he's not even facing the batter, and there he goes. He's doing it again right now. Just engaging Goldie with his back to the plate. Now he turns around and takes off. There's another one in the seats.
I'd be somewhat offended if I was Carlos Subera, the first base coach. I mean, that's one of the few jobs you have as a first base coach, is to alert the base runner. Watch out, he's coming behind you.
I guess he just really trusts him because he doesn't even feel the need to look down there. Look, he's just back to the plate. All right, now he squares up and goes. That one misses low. So a single and a walk with 2 outs, and 2 on for Santana.
Boy, and you sure hope that blown call on that fastball down and into Travis Shaw for strike 3 doesn't end up hurting Matt Cook in this inning.
Santana flied out to right his first time up. He homered here last night. Two outs, Kane at second and Shaw at first. Remember, Santana in that second inning, after flying out, had a 10-pitch at bat against Matt Cook. Jumps on the first one here, hits it a mile in the air to deep center field. Dyson at the wall, and he's got it! Gerard Dyson takes a home run away from Domingo Santana. Hats off to the D-back center fielder, who makes a spectacular catch for the second night in a row here in Milwaukee. Oh boy! My. Wow! Still no score.
The fifth inning. What an amazing catch for the second night in a row by Gerard Dyson out there in center field, taking a home run away from Domingo Santana. Fortunately, that ball hit way up in the air, and Dyson could make the appropriate adjustments as he got back to the wall and timed his leap perfectly.
What a play by Dyson
Wow.
in center. That is gone for a 3-run homer, but he brings it back. And we're still scoreless as we start the fifth inning. Dyson on deck. Alex Avila will lead it off against Jhoulys Chacín.
I'm sure there's a long involved formula when it comes to defensive runs saved, but that looked like 3 defensive runs saved to me right there.
Yes. You can't get any more literal than that.
Wow,
That's for sure.
what a play.
They do have a stat, catch probability, where they give you the percentage of the times that similar ball is caught, and I'm going to guess that was pretty low, the catch probability on that one. There's the shift against Avila. Chacín has struck out the last 4 Diamondbacks he's faced. 0-1 on the D-backs catcher. He struck out the side in the fourth. Got Goldie, Descalso, and Marte. Now, that's the pitch that Angel Hernandez has been calling a strike all night long. But we'll take it. It's 3-1. Bit of a quick pitch there from Chacín. Full count, 3-2.
Well, we didn't see all these different looks with the windup from Chacín at Chase Field. At least I don't recall him quick pitching and hesitating in the middle of his delivery.
Not this frequently anyway. Three and 2 to Alex Avila. That's 5 consecutive strikeouts for Jhoulys Chacín.
Hey fans, a D-backs home run tonight means a free jumbo jack tomorrow at participating Jack-in-the-Box locations with the purchase of a large drink.
He's got 6 in the ball game. Dyson walked his first time up. Angel generally not a big fan of the high strike. 1-0 on Dyson. Don't think of Jhoulys Chacín as a strikeout pitcher because he isn't one, but he got Lamb to end the third, got the side in the fourth, and got Avila to open up the fifth. Fly ball, Santana, right field. 2 outs. Boy, Matt Cook has pitched a whale of a ball game. Got a big break from Dyson in center field. In the bottom of the 4th inning, Matt tonight retired the first 11 batters he faced. Then a single by Kane, a walk to Shaw, and the Santana home run that wasn't. He flying out to center his first time up tonight. Here's the strike, and it's 0-1. Jhoulys Chacín hasn't lost since his second start of the year back on April 4th. He was beaten here by St. Louis. And since then, Chacín is 3-0 in 8 starts, and ERA under 3. So he has been very consistently effective in his first season with Milwaukee.
Chacin appears to be having some grip issues out there on the mound. You see him wiping his hand on the back of his leg and then going to his left wrist, sometimes up, take his hat off and run his hand through his hair.
Now Angel has stopped calling those for strikes. And that's the 4th walk issued by Chacin. Here comes David Peralta. These are all borderline pitches, so you can't go crazy either way, but there's a little inconsistency there. David has grounded out and walked 0 for 1. David, as the leadoff man, really kind of summarizes the offensive struggle of the entire lineup. He has scored a run only twice in his last dozen games. So when you go 12 games and your leadoff man scores only twice, that sort of tells you where the offense has been. It's been tough sledding here the last 10 days or so.
He's trying to put it all together, linking those at bats. Torrey talked about it all season last year and the early part of the year this year when the Diamondbacks were doing it so well. See a lot of pitches, take the walk if you're not going to get anything to hit. If you do get something to hit, put a good firm swing on it, try to barrel it up.
That one gets behind Pena, and Matt Cook will move it to second base. Well, you got a 2-out walk to the pitcher. Now a wild pitch puts him in scoring position. Be nice to take advantage of a break here.
Yeah, make it hurt. Kind of a half-hearted effort that time behind the plate by Manny Pena. Just kind of reached the glove out there, didn't shift his body to get in front. It gets behind him, allowing Matt Cook to move into scoring position with 2 outs.
Now the Brewers are moving infielders all over the place. Everybody looking into the Milwaukee dugout. Where should I stand? Shaw, Arcia, DR all switching places. Arcia creeping in from shortstop behind Cook. Play on at second. And he's back in time. Great Counsell is yelling at Angel Hernandez. Hold on, we want to take a look at that. Pat Murphy, the bench coach, on the phone.
I thought that ball was going to hit Matt Cook right in the face when Chacin spun around to throw to second base. He spiked it in the dirt right in front of the bag where Matt Cook was sliding.
In there, right?
Looked like it.
Of course, Pat Murphy, the longtime ASU coach. So it's 1-2 on Peralta. 2 outs and Matt Cook at second. Missed away, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. David this year, Chris Owings on deck, hitting .440 with runners in scoring position. So this is the guy you want up there right now. That hits a tapper back to the mound. Can't take advantage of that 2-out walk and wild pitch. Bottom 5 on the way. Still no score at Miller Park. Milwaukee, Matt Cook and Yoeli Chassin, no score in the 5th inning here at Miller Park. Fans, if you can't watch the D-backs games on TV, don't forget you can stream them live on your mobile device with Fox Sports Go. It's brought to you by T-Mobile. Download the free app and take Fox Sports Arizona and the D-backs with you wherever you go. Well, so far, Matt Cook has given up only 1 hit. He's had a big boost from his center fielder, Gerard Dyson, who took a 3-run home run away from Domingo Santana to win the bottom of the 4th inning. And so we're still scoreless as we start the home half of the 5th, and Jonathan Villar leads it off. One of the catches of the year turned in by Dyson in straightaway center, taking a 3-run home run away.
Can't wait to see the catch tomorrow.
I know. We got an early start tomorrow, too. Boy, Diamondback Live pregame show tomorrow comes your way at 9:30 in the morning on Fox Sports Arizona. It's breakfast with the D-backs. Zach Godley against Brent Suter, the left-hander. Here's Villar, who struck out to win the 2nd. Villar is switch hitter. He's over 300 from the left-hand side, where he's hit both his home runs this year. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-1. And Albers, who worked 1 inning in the ball game last night, came on to start the 7th. And started warming up in the Milwaukee bullpen. Pitcher spot would be up 4th in this inning for Craig Counsell. Well, Bob, this is right back to being the Matt Cook that we've grown used to seeing. A guy that is very efficient and throws strikes.
Throws quality strikes, too. He made very few pitches right in the middle of the zone tonight.
So it's good to see Matt bounce back here after this Brewers lineup knocked him around last week at Chase Field. 2-2 on Villar. This is a guy, Matt Cook, who despite having only 8 career big league starts to his credit, has pitched very well. It shows he belongs at this level. Torey Lovullo always talks about Matt's mound presence out there, and a guy that has stood toe-to-toe with Kershaw, Verlander, Scherzer already this year. He didn't go. That's Chris Guccione down there. And it's a full count, 3-2. The catcher, Manny Pena, will be next. And at 60 pitches, 39 for strikes. Well, Milwaukee starting to grind out some long at bats against Matt Cook. We've seen some 9-10 pitch ABs here.
As a matter of fact, Domingo Santana in the 2nd inning saw 10 pitches in his at bat. Travis Shaw in the 4th saw 9. Going into this inning, almost a third of the pitches had been thrown to 2 hitters. Wow. 2 at bats.
That was number 8, and Matt Cook gets the strikeout. That's his 4th of the ball game.
Ooh, good fastball down low and away that time after pounding Villar in the entire at bat with fastballs and breaking pitches. Got him to chase one outside off the plate.
Manny Pena popped up his first time up tonight, the catcher. Pena's 0 for 3 last night, snapped a 7-game hit streak for him. Good pitch down and away, caught the corner, 1-1. Over the head of Goldie and into right. Just the second hit for the Brewers against Matt Cook. It's a one-out single in the 5th.
Hey, fans, the day after every D-backs win, get 50% off all pizzas at regular menu price using promo code DBACKS50 at papajohns.com.
There's the shortstop, Orlando Arcia. Pitcher spot coming up behind him. Arcia flied out his first time. Yoeli Chacin has thrown a whole bunch of pitches tonight through 5 innings. We'll call it 86. 86 is correct. He's exceeded 100 pitches only once all year. So, as we mentioned earlier, he's not a guy that goes very deep into ball games. There's no one in the on-deck circle right now. There is Chacin. And Tyler Saladino, in fact, comes out of the dugout now, ready to hit for the pitcher. Saladino, saw him strike out against Fernando Salas as a pinch hitter in the 7th inning last night. 0-2 on the shortstop, Orlando Arcia. That's foul behind Big Ed Cedar, the third base coach. It's not a Brewer game without Ed Cedar. There he is, now number 0. He had to give up his number 6 when they signed Lorenzo Cain.
He's been a fixture here. His 12th season on the coaching staff, 8th as the third base coach. He's been a part of this Brewers organization for a long time in various capacities.
Arcia putting up a fight on 0-2.
I've told the story in the past, but when I interviewed for the Brewers job several years ago, at one point in the interview, the question came up about your coaching staff. And it wasn't even a question. Besides Ed Cedar, who are you going to have on your staff?
Okay. Swing and a miss. Matt Cook gets the strikeout, his 2nd of this inning, and his 5th in the ball game.
Well, starts the sequence off with a curveball. Our pitch by pitch. Right there for a called strike right in the middle of the plate. Back with a hard cut fastball off the plate away. Tries to come back in with a 2-seamer. He hung that one up there a little bit, but comes back with a really good breaking ball down and in for strike 3.
Nationwide vision eye on the game. Here's Saladino hitting for the pitcher, Chacin. "70 pitches for Matt Cook, 48 strikes. Missed the corner apparently, 1-0. 360 and 2 homers for Saladino. Both his home runs this year came last week at Chase Field. Pena, the catcher, at first, 2 outs. Fouled away, and it's 1-1. Saladino 7 for 17 with Milwaukee since he was picked up from the White Sox in the middle of last month. Spent his first 3 seasons in Chicago. Well, that one showed up on the computer as a strike, but I'm guessing because of the way Alex Avila had to catch that one, Angel Hernandez called it a ball. Hard to give the pitcher the benefit of the doubt on that pitch when you've got the catcher spinning around to catch the baseball. 2-1. Well, Matt Cook got the first 2 outs quickly in the 4th inning, and then had some long at bats, a single and a walk before Santana's home run was robbed by Dyson. And now he's working with 2 outs against Saladino and Yelich on deck. It's 3 balls and 1 strike.
They walk the pinch hitter. 2 on and 2 out for Yelich. Second walk issued by Matt Cook. Yelich has struck out, flying out. He's 0 for 2. Mike Butcher, the pitching coach, going to go pay a visit. Same 2 teams tomorrow. It's an early start, fans. Don't forget breakfast with the D-backs. Diamondbacks live pregame show brought to you by CenturyLink at 9:30 in the morning tomorrow. Zach Godley on the mound for the D-backs. What's next brought to you by CenturyLink. It's a 12:10 local start here. 10:10 Arizona time for Godley and Suter. An off day on Thursday. 3 at Oakland starts Friday. So sleep fast.
Yeah, no kidding. I didn't realize I hadn't paid that much attention to the American League standings, but going into play today, the Oakland Athletics had exactly the same record as the Arizona Diamondbacks.
You'll have to bring that up to Mel when you see him on Friday. 2 on and 2 out. Big batter to get right here for Matt Cook. 1-0 on Yelich, who has homered twice in his last 5 games, including last week at Chase Field. And he homered against Matt Cook in the 2nd inning. One-out single by Pena. A 2-out walk to the pinch hitter Saladino has put 2 on with 2 out. He's trying hard to keep the ball down here, but he's missing low, and it's 2-1. Center field, Dyson is there. Matt Cook strands 2 and keeps it scoreless through 5 in Milwaukee.
Effort here tonight. Scoreless through 5. Jody Jackson here alongside his dad, Scott Cook, and you've made the trip from Cherokee, Iowa. I know Matt was excited to have family here tonight. How much does it mean to you to be here?
We don't get to see very many games. They don't get very close, so this is one of the closer games. And we loaded up a couple pickups and showed up for the game tonight. Brought his grandpa here to watch him too.
That is awesome. So this is a big deal in Cherokee. Are all the TVs tuned to Fox Sports Arizona?
You know, there's some people that really don't know a lot about baseball, I think, are watching baseball now. So, yeah, the town of Cherokee's excited for Matt, and we're excited for him too.
Well, Matt's been great. He's gotten wins with the D-backs against guys like Kershaw and Verlander. What would you like to say to Gerard Dyson maybe right now, though, in center field?
You know, my heart took a big skip right there, and that was, you know, Matt talks about how great a defense and a bunch of guys that these are out here, and, you know, a pitcher needs good defense, and they have a good defense out there.
Now, you were pretty intense when I walked up to you. I could see that it's very kind of nerve-wracking watching your son. I imagine it's a good tense, though, right?
Absolutely. I get a little nervous, but, you know, I've coached baseball most of my life. It's easier down on the field than it is back here watching it. So it's exciting, though. You just hope he does well. And, you know, there's a lot of good hitters out there, and it's not always going to be perfect, but, you know, just give it your best shot.
Well, he's got a great demeanor. He's always calm, cool, and collected, it seems, out there.
Yeah, he's pretty calm. He doesn't show his emotions very much. I think they might be a little more going on underneath, but he's good at controlling them.
Well, Scott, thanks for joining us. I know Val back here is enjoying the day, too. So
absolutely. Grandpa's having a great time here today. Yes.
All right, and hi to everyone in Cherokee and watching back in Iowa, guys.
That's right, Jody. A lot of D-back fans in Cherokee, Iowa now. That's great to see.
Absolutely.
So Matt Albers has come on to pitch for the Brewers. He worked a 1-2-3 7th inning last night. Chris Owings flies out to center. Here's Jake Lamb. Jake doubled in the first. He's 1 for 2.
I think Mr. Cook speaks for baseball dads everywhere. It's always a little easier when you actually can do something to affect the outcome of the game, but when all you can do is sit and watch and root, it can be nerve-wracking.
The voice of experience.
Yes.
2-0 on Lamb. Now Travis Shaw will move over from third base to the first base side of second. 3 infielders on the right side for the Brewers. 2 balls and 1 strike on Jake Lamb. Albers misses in, and it's 3-1. Jake last night homered and walked twice. Goldie on deck. Got D-backs fans from all over here at the ballpark for this series. Jim Weber right behind our on deck circle. Full count, 3-2. Chop to first. Ji-Man Choi, 2 down.
Hey fans, anytime the D-backs score 5 runs or more, Taco Bell is giving away 3 free crunchy beef tacos with the purchase of a large drink between 4 and 6 the following day at participating locations. He said, hopefully.
Haven't had a lot of tacos lately, that's for sure. Goldie has walked and struck out. D-backs have scored more than 4 runs, only twice in their last 22 games. Three infielders on the left side against Goldschmidt. That one misses away. It's 1-0. And again, you see that odd outfield configuration with Yelich way off the left field line and Kane standing in right center field. There's nobody in center right now. So the infield is way over to the left and the outfield is way over to the right.
We say it all the time. This is not something Craig Counsell does just to do. This is their spray charts against Paul Goldschmidt, against the pitchers on this Brewers staff, tells them this is where they should place their defenders.
Goldie belts that one foul down the left field line.
Of course, as a pitcher, it would behoove you to make pitches to encourage the hitter to hit the ball into the teeth of your defense. That time he left a pitch off the inside part of the plate. Goldie ripped it just foul. If he can get that in fair territory, it's an easy double.
Chased one down and away, and Albers is back even 2-2. Fastballs in, breaking balls away to Goldie. We've seen that a lot lately. Gonna try a fastball away down here. And he strikes out looking for the second time tonight. Albers a 1-2-3-6. No score in Milwaukee.
Hats off for heroes, because no matter where you serve or when you served, we stand ready to serve all military families.
Miller Park in Milwaukee. D-backs and Brewers, no score. Each team with 2 hits as we start the home half of the 6th inning. Matt Cook has been outstanding tonight. He's given up just 2 hits, both singles. He's walked 2 and struck out 5. And the first baseman, Ji-Man Choi, leads it off for Milwaukee. Choi has struck out, grounded out. He's 0 for 2. Choi on Friday in Minnesota homered on the 3rd pitch he saw after his minor league recall. Here's a look at the defense against him. 3 infielders on the right side. Sends this one down the line in right, and that's a fair ball. It's in the corner. Ji-Man Choi has a leadoff double.
I haven't seen a lot of Ji-Man Choi this year, but watching him in batting practice, he likes the ball down, and that's what he gets from Matt Cook. That ball's down near the ankles on the inside part of the plate. He's able to keep it fair down into that right field corner.
And now you've got some big hitters coming up. Kane, Shaw, and Santana. Lorenzo Kane singled his last time up. He's 1 for 2, batting 3rd tonight. Again, Angel does not give you the high strike. One and 0.
Even though the rule book says he should. That's what drives me crazy. I've tried to bite my tongue on these umpires for a long time now, but it's just ridiculous on a nightly basis, the number of pitches that we see missed at home plate.
Well, you know, I can't believe I'm going to defend Angel, but these are basically borderline strikes for the most part. It's hard to go crazy either way. We haven't seen an egregious miss or two here, really.
I guess the strike zone is open to interpretation.
Not according to the rule book.
Rules are rules. Cook is behind 2-0 on Kane with Choi at second and nobody out. See, that shows up on the computer as a strike. And now Lorenzo Cain isn't happy, so you can't please anybody half the time, or half of them never, or something. Uh-oh, that's trouble. The Haterade, Josh Hader. That guy's a handful. A big left-hander starts to get loose in the Brewer bullpen. 2-1 on Kane. 3 balls and a strike. They've got Shaw on deck. D-backs bullpen is quiet for the moment. Matt Cook approaching 90 pitches. A double and a walk open up the Milwaukee 6th. 3rd walk issued by Cook. And here's Shaw, who was flied out and walked. Mike Butcher on the bullpen phone with Mike Fetters. Jorge De La Rosa, who generally needs a little bit of time to get hot, will start to warm up as Mike Butcher pays Matt Cook a mound visit. 2 on and no outs.
Obviously, you get a little concerned the 3rd time through the lineup. Matt Cook with a leadoff double and then a walk there to Lorenzo Cain. Brewers have seen him twice now, and he might be just starting to get on the edge of a little bit of fatigue at this point. When every pitch you make is crucial in a 0-0 ball game, it tends to take a little bit more out of you as a pitcher.
Travis Shaw does not get cheated with his swings. He and Lo Cain, when they take a cut, they take a cut.
Let it go.
Just below the knees, it's 1-1. Alex Avila keeps the runners where they are. Cook behind 2 balls and 1 strike. Pitches for Matt Cook, 55 for strikes. De La Rosa warming up in the bullpen. Squib shot under the glove of Cook. Marte has to hustle. And they get Shaw at first as the runners move up. Matt tried to backhand that one, and it sort of skirted off the mound there.
I think Matt Cook got fooled a little bit. That ball wasn't hit hard, but you don't know that initially as a pitcher. Tried to do the backspin backhanded play out there on the mound. Fortunately, he doesn't touch it. It gets through, and Marte able to get the out at first base.
Here comes Torey Lovullo. They've got the right-hand hitting Domingo Santana coming up. Matt Cook's night ends here. No score in the 6th inning. Back after this. There's 11 batters he faced in the ball game. He did have a 3-run home run robbed behind him by Gerard Dyson to keep the game scoreless, but now he's responsible for 2 runners here in the 6th inning. 1 out, and on to face Domingo Santana is the left-hander Jorge De La Rosa.
You mentioned Jorge De La Rosa. It takes a little bit longer than most Diamondbacks relievers to get ready because of his history as a starting pitcher, but that long at bat by Travis Shaw before grounding out to short allowed him to get ready here. He's going to face a tough customer right away in Domingo Santana with first base open.
Now here's the interesting thing about this matchup. Santana, his splits are backwards. He is 4 for 41. 4 for 41 against left-hand pitchers.
Wow.
So they're in 45 plate appearances. Batting average under 100 against lefties. 2nd and 3rd, 1 out, no score here in the 6th. Fly ball left field. Peralta backing up. He's got it. Here comes Choi from 3rd. Kane moves up as well, and the Brewers take a 1-0 lead. Well, that run charged to Matt Cook, and now with the left-hander De La Rosa still out there, you flip VR to his weaker side. He'll bat right-handed. VR is over 300 as a left-hand batter this year, but he's hitting only .214 from the right side. The run is in. Kane at 3rd and 2 outs. First pitch swinging, and he pops it up. Descalso called off by Owings behind him. And they strand Kane at 3rd. Great job by Matt Cook tonight, but he trails it 1-0.
3 hits through 6 innings, but looking for some offense here. And we'll remind you, fans, you can watch every out-of-market regular season game live or on demand at home, in the office, or on the go with MLB.tv. It includes MLB At Bat Premium. That lets you watch live baseball on your favorite supported devices. You can watch D-backs games on your phone. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. Here is the very tough left-hander, Josh Hader, who last pitched on Saturday at Minnesota. This guy usually goes multiple innings for Craig Counsell. And in 27 1/3 innings of work, he's got 56 strikeouts. Hernan Perez comes into the game, takes over at second base for Jonathan Villar. So he'll bat 9th, pitcher spot now 6th in the Milwaukee order. Daniel Descalso leads off the D-backs 7th. This guy is nasty and filthy at all those things.
All of it. Tough to pick up. I think that's the real key to his success. I mean, obviously he's got great stuff, throws strikes. You just don't pick up the ball. He pitches out of that closed stance, and then he closes up even more when he lifts that front leg. He's got to be crazy tough on left-handed hitters.
He's the closest thing I think we've seen to Andrew Miller from a few years ago, when he pretty much almost won Cleveland the World Series by himself. Daniel down 0-2. Pops it up, headed for the seats and out of play. Daniel hitting an even 200 against left-handers this year. He has homered twice against lefties. Hader has made 16 appearances. 10 of them he's gone at least 2 innings. So that's why Craig Counsell double switched him into the ball game. Descalso can't check his swing. 1 batter, 1 strikeout for Hader.
That's just not fair on a left-handed hitter. Our pitch by pitch, 3 fastballs in the mid-90s, 94, 95, 95 again elevated, and in the slider at 80, sweeping off the outside corner. Man, that's tough.
Nationwide vision, eye on the game. Ketel Marte will bat from the right-hand side now. He singled in the 2nd. Marte batting under 200 lefty. He's a 266 hitter from the right side of the plate. And he's ahead 2-0. That one's off the plate. Angel Hernandez says strike 1. You can see why Josh Hader was named National League Relief Pitcher of the Month in March and April. He's having a pretty good May. Fouled away, and it's 2-2. D-backs still with only 2 base hits. Lamb doubled in the 1st. Marte had a broken bat single in the 2nd. And that was their last base hit. Alex Avila is the next scheduled hitter, but John Ryan Murphy with a left-hander Hader out there and has come out into the on-deck circle. He'll hit for Avila. 3-2 to Ketel Marte. Here's a base runner. That's the 5th walk of the ball game drawn by D-backs hitters, and here's Murphy. John Ryan at 250 with 4 homers.
It's only the 8th walk this season for Josh Hader. A guy that throws a high velocity fastball, big sweeping slider. 56 strikeouts, now 57 with the punch out of Daniel Descalso against only 8 walks.
John Ryan's had a solid bat lately. He singled, homered, and knocked in 3 runs when he started Saturday against the Mets in New York. Lays off that fastball up and away, and it's 1-0. John Ryan is hitting lefties this year. He's over .320 with 3 home runs against left-hand pitchers. So this could be a good spot for him. Well, that fastball sailing on Hader up and away. It's 2-0. Manny Pena does not like what he sees. Hader getting frustrated after he lost Marte.
Well, I just gave you the numbers a moment ago, the strikeouts versus the walks. And when you have a guy that is a strike thrower and gets a lot of quick outs when he's falling behind in counts and walking guys, it's a red flag. Manny Pena out there to try to figure out quickly what's going wrong with his left-hander.
Center field, Kane coming in. He makes a sliding grab and takes a base hit away from John Ryan Murphy, and they'll double off Marte. Torey Lovullo wants to check the replay. That's a catch.
That's a catch. Nice play.
We stretch in Milwaukee. D-backs trail the Brewers 1-0. It's been thrown out on the bases in a 1-0 ball game as we start the bottom of the 7th inning. Fans, Chase Field, a perfect place to host an outing. Get discounted tickets for a group of 15 or more, and even get an in-stadium shout-out for your group. Call 602-462-4600 or visit dbacks.com/groups, and we'll see you at the ballpark. John Ryan Murphy, after pinch hitting for Alex Avila, takes over behind the plate. It's a whole new battery for Torey Lovullo, as Yoshi Hirano is on to work the home half of the 7th inning. The catcher Manny Pena leads it off for the Brewers. Milwaukee 1 run on 3 hits. The D-backs no runs on 2 hits. 0-2 on the Brewers catcher. Swing and a miss. Good start for Yoshi. 1 down. Orlando Arcia, the shortstop, is 0 for 2. Arcia right on the euchre line and even 200 for the season. He has really struggled as of late offensively. Just 135 in his last 14 games and hitless so far tonight. I figured we already blew our ride back to the hotel anyway. Might as well pile on.
Dropping that 200 career batting average on you. He'll never give us a ride again.
He took the vet on purpose. I don't want to have to give those bozos a ride again. Better take the vet, leave the SUV at home. He was telling us he used to do some games and after the game go to the marina down here and sleep on his boat.
Has a boat right off of downtown Milwaukee, docked up out there. Used to go out and go fishing after ball games and then sleep on the boat. Well, life's good.
Get up with the sun, fish all morning long, take a nap in the afternoon, come to the ballpark and do the ball game. Life is good when you're Bob Uecker. There he is doing Brewers radio just to our right here. Along with the great Jeff Levering. Does a terrific job for the Brewer broadcasts.
Uecker was telling us about the special relationship he developed with Zach Greinke when Zach was here as a member of the Brewers. Took him out on the boat a couple times fishing. Said Zach is just as competitive as a fisherman as he is as a pitcher. And a ping pong player and a golfer and anything else he participates in, he wants to win.
Funny, he said Zach went up to him in spring training when he was first acquired by the Brewers. They had never spoken. And he walked up after a while and said, "I hear you like to fish." "Well, when are we going fishing?" Uecker says, I'll take you fishing when it warms up a little bit. I said, "All right." 6 weeks, 2 months go by. Greinke comes up again. "When are we going fishing?" "Well, we'll go out when it's nice. We got an off day next week," so off they go. Greinke caught a fish and telephoned one of his teammates. I think it was
Jonathan Lucroy. Yeah.
Said, "I caught a bigger fish than you did." Hernan Perez on deck, 3-2 on Arcia. Yoshihisa Hirano, 2 strikeouts to open up the 7th inning. Hernan Perez hasn't played a whole lot lately. He's been slowed by a sore wrist. 261. He's got 3 home runs. It's funny, he's kind of become, in a way, the odd man out. He was all over the field the last few years with the Brewers, but they added Yelich, they added Kane. They like Santana in right, so a lot of his outfield starts have gone away. Playing a little bit more of a reserve role this year. Used to be you play Milwaukee, one game Perez would be in left, then he'd be at second, then he'd be at third, always in the starting lineup. Perez had a great year last year, career highs and hits and doubles, homers. But a lot of his at-bats have gone away. Keeps missing with that splitter. 2-1.
I mentioned Eric Thames very close to resuming baseball activities, and Ryan Braun at some point is going to come back off the disabled list. So it's going to be a real challenge for Craig Counsell to keep everybody sharp and happy.
I guess that's a problem when you have a division leader. Brewers playing very well right now. 29-19, leading the NL Central.
won 3 of 4 this year against the D-backs. They lead this one 1-0 in the 7th. High in the air to center for Dyson. Yoshi, a 1-2-3 inning. 8th inning on the way. D-backs still trail at 1-0. Summary, the D-backs have only 2 hits in the ball game, a Jake Lamb double in the 1st and a Ketel Marte broken bat single in the 2nd. That has been all the offense. Matt Cook was terrific tonight, gave up just the 1 run. And here we are as we start the 8th inning. Gerard Dyson will lead it off. Devin Marrero is on deck. He'll hit for the pitcher, Yoshi Hirano. Josh Hader back out there for his 2nd inning of work.
Might have caught Josh Hader on a night where he's not at his best. I mean, the velocity's good. The location, however, just a little bit off tonight.
He's missing the glove by a good 2-3 feet here. Got the strike that time. You can tell by how much Pena back there has to move the catcher's mitt to wherever the baseball is. Left that one up, a fastball, but Dyson missed it. And it's 2-2. Marrero will hit for the pitcher. Caught the corner, but Angel Hernandez says ball 3. That also showed up as a strike. Not called by the plate umpire. And so we've got Dyson speed aboard to start the 8th inning, and now Marrero is the pinch hitter. 2nd walk and 4 batters issued by Hader. Devin Marrero, an even 200 on the year. But Marrero's specialty is hitting left-handers. He's batting .265 against lefties this year. What do you want to do with Dyson down there at first?
I haven't seen a lot of Hader. I'm not sure what kind of move he has to first base. I'm sure Dave McKay rather has a real good read on his move to first base. If there's a tell there, I think he's going to run. You know, the Diamondbacks don't like to give up outs. via the sacrifice bunt. Only 12 all season long, and we've seen a lot of situations just like this in one-run ball games come and go without an attempt to sacrifice that runner. I think with Dyson's speed, as I said, if he can read Hader's move, I'd let him try to steal the base. Well, to be honest with you, if I was managing, this would be one of those situations where I'd be thinking hit and run. Got great speed on it first. You've got a great handler of the bat at the plate. Hader's basically been around the plate, not always in the strike zone, but he hasn't been missing by a wide margin, and that's necessary. If you're going to play hit and run, you need a pitcher to throw the ball around the plate so the batter can get the bat on it. Well, his move's pretty easy to read from behind. I'm not so sure it's that easy over there at first base.
Dyson 8 for 9 this year in his stolen base attempts. 0-1 on Devin Marrero, hitting for the pitcher. Dyson takes off, pitches high, the throw is in time. He came off the bag, says Hunter Wendelstedt, the second base umpire. Here comes Torey Lovello.
It looked like Torey initially was going out to check on the runner at second base to see if he was okay.
And now Angel Hernandez is motioning for Dyson to come off the field. Here's another look. Oh, there's the hand off the bag, and the glove was on the back.
Boy, Dyson gets so much speed going first to second. He might need to start his slide a little bit sooner. We've seen him go right over the bag like that a couple times this year. Unfortunately, that time wasn't able to maintain contact.
That's the third time in a 1-0 game that the Diamondbacks have made it out on the bases. Ketel Marte twice, and now the caught stealing there by Dyson. 1-1 on Marrero. The pitch is low. 2 balls and 1 strike.
He had the base stolen. He was going to be safe at second. Just couldn't stay on the bag.
I mean, the amount of little things that have piled up like that against the D-backs. We've seen it far too often. First base side. G-Man Choi. 2 outs. Here's Peralta, who has twice grounded out and walked 0 for 2. David at 261 for the year. He's just over 200 against left-handers. Chris Guccione is not moving.
He's not going to signal anything until Angel Hernandez asks for help. That time Manny Pena was the only guy requesting an appeal down to third base. Never came from Angel Hernandez.
Base hit for Peralta. A 2-out single in the 8th inning. That is the Diamondbacks' first base hit tonight since Marte's single that led off the second. They have 3 hits in the ball game. Chris Owings now. CO 0 for 3. Breaking ball, backdoors it in there, and it's 0-1. CO right now stuck in a 4 for 40 skid at the plate.
0-2. Corey Knebel, who got his second save of the year in the ball game last night, starting to heat up in the Brewer bullpen. He missed a long time in April with a hamstring problem. 0-2 on Owings. Fights off a fastball upstairs. Archie Bradley, the right-hander. T.J. McFarland, the lefty. Brewers will have the top of the order due up. Yelich, Choi, Kane, 1, 2, and 3.
Better pass at that fastball right in the middle of the strike zone that time. You get the feeling with CO and Goldie and just about every Diamondbacks hitter, just one well-struck line drive. Barrel one ball up. It seems like for a lot of these hitters, it's been a long time since they've made solid contact.
Well, last night 2 runs on 3 hits. Sunday in New York, 1 run, 6 hits. Friday, 1 run, 6 hits. That's just the way it's been going lately.
Yep.
Got him on a breaking ball. Bottom 8 on the way. D-backs trail it 1-0.
Pitcher got that first pitch slider in there for a strike and then throws 3 fastballs in a row, 2 of them up in the zone. This is the one CO needed to hit. 95 right in the middle. And he's back with a slider down below the bottom of the zone for strike 3.
Nationwide vision, eye on the game. The Owings at bat ends the top half of the 8th inning. Now the left-hander T.J. McFarland is on to work the home half against a top of the Brewers lineup that's loaded up with lefties. Christian Yelich leads it off. He's 0 for 3. Ground ball to Tel Marte. One pitch, 1 out for TJ. TJ's folks are here. We saw them in the hotel the other day.
Ran into him in the lobby. They drove up from Chicago. We're looking forward to spending a little vacation at the fabulous Pafister.
It's a swanky joint.
It really is.
Here's G-Man Choi, the first baseman. He doubled and he scored the game's only run in the 6th on a Domingo Santana sacrifice fly.
Haven't heard any ghost sightings on this trip so far.
No, I don't think anyone's going to top. Hopefully no one will top the Brian Henry story from last year, which was a little creepy. He was telling that story in the lobby to Patrick Corbin. You should have seen the look on Patrick's face. He was freaked out, man. Of course, the Fabulous Pfister's reputation of being a haunted hotel, and there are certain rooms on certain floors where certain entities have appeared in front of certain people.
Allegedly.
And one of our producers, Brian Henry, had an encounter last year. It's not that we don't believe him. Brian is he's a straight shooter.
Yeah. No reason to doubt him.
He's not often prone to exaggeration. 1-2 on Choi. DJ strikes out, but Brian said he woke up in the middle of the night and there was a family of 4 watching him at the end of the bed, dressed up in old-timey clothes. And then when he went down to the lobby in the middle of the night, a little bit freaked out, they said, are you on the such and such floor? Yeah. Was it a family of 4? Yeah. Oh yeah, we get that all the time. Ooh, not good.
This wasn't during Oktoberfest, was it?
I think maybe it was.
That might explain it. Yeah.
Oh, Brian's a big. Yeah, he went to Marquette, so he's a big Oktoberfest guy.
Yeah.
Maybe he was just a little too festive.
Maybe. Speaking of fests, they have one of the greatest music festivals in the world here in Milwaukee in the summertime. It takes like 2 weeks. They have so many bands. Starts early in the day, runs till late at night every day for about 2 weeks. Right over on the lakefront.
They've done a wonderful job with downtown Milwaukee. There's a beautiful river walk that goes through the city. You got, of course, the shore of Lake Michigan down there. It's a nice downtown area here. on Lorenzo Kane. You have not had any encounters at all, have you?
No, and I've been staying there since 1981. At least once a year, sometimes 3 times a year.
I've heard there are players who will not stay at the hotel. They just won't do it. They go somewhere else.
There's a couple of other little hotels within walking distance of the Fabulous Pfister, and some guys choose to stay elsewhere.
But it is a beautiful hotel. I love staying there. It's
I don't know if you've ever checked the book that they put in the room.
Oh yeah, it's cool.
Oh, it is really cool. The history of this place and just the architecture, everything about it is just magnificent.
Patrick Corbin is actually one of those players. Patrick is not staying in the team hotel.
Is that right?
He's a little too freaked out. Yeah, the hotel went up in, I think, 1880, 1890 something. Just by Descalso and into center, a 2-out single for Kane. And that'll bring up Travis Shaw. Shaw walked in the 4th. He's 0 for 2. DJ trying to get out of this 8th inning. The closer, Knebel, is ready in the Brewer bullpen. D-backs in the 9th will have Lamb, Goldie, Descalso due up 3, 4, and 5. That was just the 4th hit today for Milwaukee, but they lead it 1-0.
Travis Shaw's done most of his damage this year against right-handed pitching, a .280 hitter with 11 home runs. Against lefties, not so much. 152 with no homers.
There's a bunch of folks walking around. You see a lot of jerseys at Miller Park. Some of the old Brewer jerseys, old favorites. You know, see a Gorman Thomas jersey here and there. But there's a lot of guys that have a number 21 with the Mayor DDC on the back.
I did see one of those earlier. I didn't realize what that stood for.
That might have been a rap group or something, but that's Mayor of Ding Dong City for Travis Shaw, number 21. Let's see old Greinke jerseys, Paul Molitor jerseys, of course, Robin Yount, all the great Brewers. And a great fan base here in Milwaukee. There it is. The Mayor of Ding Dong City bobblehead day is coming up this weekend. Sadly, we just missed it.
Brewers have, of course, one of those teams that have had a variety of jerseys over the years, and you see all the versions here in the ballpark. You got the old road blue ones that they used to wear under Harvey Keene. Some of the newer ones. There's the throwbacks.
Pinstripes, yeah.
They've had a number of different looks and logos. You see them all here. One and two on Travis Shaw. Kane takes off. They got him picked off. And Marte applies the tag. So we go to the 9th inning. Corey Knebel, the closer who got the save last night, is coming in. Jake Lamb will lead it off. D-backs down 1-0 as we hit the 9th in Milwaukee. Ninth inning in Milwaukee. D-backs trail it 1-0. And here's the closer for the Brewers, who missed just over a month with a left hamstring strain, but he was back last night to get his second save of the year. He worked a perfect ninth. It's the right-hander Corey Knebel. He'll face Jake Lamb, Paul Goldschmidt, and Daniel Descalso, 3, 4, and 5 in the D-back ninth inning. D-backs have only 3 hits. They have drawn 6 walks in the ball game, but they've yet to score a run. Lamb doubled in the first inning. He's 1 for 3. Don't forget, following our ball game tonight, D-backs driven in, brought to you by Sanderson Ford. Jody Jackson drives Torey Lovullo to work. The premiere of our latest D-backs driven in episode right after our ball game tonight on Fox Sports Arizona. Stay tuned for that right after the game. 2-1 on Jake. Fouled away, and it's 2-2. showed up as a strike. Angel Hernandez says ball. Craig Counsell disagrees. And it's a full count on Lamb, 3-2. And that's been a strike most of the day tonight.
Just get a man on. Corey Knebel has not had to deal with a lot of base runners this year. He doesn't give up many hits. He doesn't walk guys. As you mentioned, he spent a lengthy amount of time on the disabled list with that hamstring injury. Get a couple guys on there and see what happens.
Saw Angel Hernandez kind of lean in and say something to the catcher Manny Pena after that call. Counsell on the top step. 3-2 to Lamb. Well, we got 99 and 82 on back-to-back pitches to stay alive. Is giving Angel Hernandez a mouthful. Here comes Craig Counsell running out onto the field. And he's been ejected from the ball game. Angel Hernandez and that at bat by Jake Lamb missed 2 called strikes. And the leadoff man is aboard in a 1-0 game in the 9th inning, and the Brewers manager has been tossed. Counsell didn't walk out there, he ran.
Well, I think he was afraid his catcher and or a pitcher were going to get ejected from the ball game for arguing that ball 4, and he wanted to get out there and make sure it wasn't the guys on the field playing.
Nick Ahmed will run for Jake. Batter is Paul Goldschmidt. Goldie has walked. He struck out twice. 0 for 2. Tying runs at first with no outs in the 9th.
See, this is excessive for me for Angel Hernandez. He's the one that blew 2 calls. Now, they worked in the Diamondbacks' favor, but that doesn't lessen the impact of 2 bad calls to this ball game. You get a manager thrown out of the game. He's threatening to throw out the catcher. You're the one that missed the calls.
D-backs got to make it work in their favor. Breaking ball through the front door. 0-1. A round of sarcastic applause for the plate umpire from the Brewer fan. Domingo Santana in right field is standing on the warning track. Kane in center is shaded over toward right center field. Look how far back the right fielder's playing for Goldie. And as usual, Yelich is way off the line in left.
Well, the idea for the Brewers being if they play deep enough, Nick Ahmed won't be able to score from first base. Because there will be no extra base hit if you're playing that deep.
98 right at the knees. It's 1-2 on Goldie. Descalso is the on-deck hitter. Ahmed breaks for second. The throw from Pena is in time. They got him. Diamondbacks have made 4 outs on the bases tonight in a 1-0 ball game.
Boy, Nick actually had a pretty good jump, but it was a really good pitch for Pena to throw on. Fastball away, just kind of closes that front shoulder, automatically catching the pitch, and he's always had a very strong throwing arm, not even close at second base.
2-2 on Goldie. Descalso on deck. Keeps fighting off these fastballs. Still 2-2. Got him. Goldie strikes out for the third time tonight. 2 down.
After a series of high-velocity fastballs, the big 82-mile-an-hour slider started right at Goldie and broke it over the heart of the plate for strike 3.
Descalso, last man standing. He's 0 for 3. Bounce to first. And the Brewers win it 1-0. The D-backs shut out for only the second time this season, and the Diamondbacks have now lost 6 in a row, 12 over their last 13 games, and they dropped to 5-15 in the month of May.
I don't quite know what to say. Once again, the offense stymied by this Milwaukee Brewers pitching staff. Just not even a lot of loud contact tonight. Couldn't take advantage of the high number of base on balls they received.
D-backs last year scored 1 or fewer runs 18 times all season. It's been 11 already this year. Back to wrap it up from Milwaukee after this.